All right, guys. I said I was going to talk about this. Why not? This is from Fox News. It says Georgia appeals court disqualifies DA Fani Willis and her team from Trump election interference case. Then it says Georgia court rules Willis and her office have no authority to proceed. So basically, what they're saying is it's over. Like the case will be dropped. Fani Willis, you out, and they're gonna appoint somebody else that's gonna just get rid of it, just drop the charges. Here's a video right here, guys. So I'm gonna play it and pause in between.
Fulton County, Georgia, and here we go. A Georgia Court of Appeals has disqualified the Fulton County DA Fani Willis from that election interference case. It's coming down right now. The case against Trump and more than a dozen others already largely stalled, as you know. The new ruling means that it will be up to the prosecuting attorney's council in the state of Georgia to find another prosecutor to decide on the case, to take it over. And
so basically, I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna play it again. So basically, they're gonna find somebody that's just gonna dismiss the shit for Trump. Basically, that's all. That's all that means, man. That's just speaking in clear English for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, all right.
and make a decision as to whether or not they continue with a prosecution of the incoming president.
And former Deputy Assistant Attorney General John Yoo is here. John, does this mean that this is yet another one of the cases against Trump that could go away before he's president?
It's another example, Dana, of this lawfare campaign that was waged by Democrats, boomeranging back on them and falling all around their ears. Anyone who watched this trial, remember, this is the DA who claimed that the entire Trump reelection campaign was something like an organized crime racket that was intending to deprive everyone of our civil rights to vote. But remember,
Now, I'm going to say this. Was all this shit politically motivated? Hell yeah. My thing is, like, same with the New York trials and shit. Like, why y'all now getting Trump now during the election season when you could have got the motherfucker back, you know, shit, when he left the White House back in 2021. See what I'm saying? So yeah, it is politically motivated. Like anybody with a brain could know that, but yeah. And I remember about Fani Willis. I guess they accused her of messing around with one of her partners, whoever that guy was that worked in the attorney's office or some shit. Like, wow, like two adults can't, you know, adults are adults. Like, but okay.
we saw the dramatic testimony over the summer of how DA Fani Willis had hired her boyfriend, essentially, to be the special counsel, overpaid him, and then had him investigate and bring charges against Donald Trump. It's a complete conflict of interest. And if you take a quick look at the Georgia Appeals Court decision here, that's what it says. There's such an appearance of impropriety, an appearance of a conflict of interest, that Fani Willis should not be the prosecutor. I think this spells yet another case that's going to have to either be suspended or more likely just ended and tossed out. It's hard for me to see another Georgia district attorney wanting to take up this flawed case and try to prosecute Trump on these theories that his reelection campaign was some kind of criminal organized crime enterprise.
John, a couple of things here. There are 14 others that face charges. I don't know what happens to them, but she can appeal to the state Supreme Court in Georgia. But given what the Supreme Court said in Washington about immunity, I mean, does the state Supreme Court even take her case in Georgia?
It's a good question, Bill. I think what's going to happen here, along the lines of possible appeals and so on,
I think Fani Willis is going. She said, "Yeah, I'm out. I'm done." She ain't going. Yeah, like, yeah. Basically, the Supreme Court said, "Hey, the president can be a fucking basically a damn dictator, so he can do whatever the fuck he want and get away with it." So I mean, like, so yeah. And how long would that take? I know they're gonna take years. So yeah, like everybody is just bending their head down to Trump like that, man. Like. Oh, Mr. President, I'm feeling so wrong about you. Oh God, but yeah,
Is it looks likely because of that presidential immunity decision by the Supreme Court that any kind of state prosecution of President Trump would have to be at least suspended, if not dropped. You're seeing that going on, those arguments going on right now up in New York City with the case being heard by Judge Merchan. So even if they could get past immunity, they'd still have to suspend it while President Trump was in office. But furthermore, you'd have to go back and then scrub the whole indictment, scrub everything the grand jury did, and say you've got to eliminate anything that used official actions by President Trump, any evidence that came in from White House officials, from anything the president was doing in the Oval Office. They might actually fatally handicap this prosecution and require the whole thing to be dismissed.
It's interesting too because she had this novel way.
I mean, it will be dismissed. Duh, like all of Trump's cases gonna be dismissed. If one of them still in the balance, hey, I'm shocked. But like again, the Supreme Court say president have immunity, so that's why all of them basically just retracted the cases. Like Jack Smith, I heard that the motherfucker is basically gone. He MIA. Like he said, I'm out of here. So yeah.
Of trying to get at him through RICO. Was that a mistake as well? In addition to her personal behavior, obviously, is what they're saying here. But in a way, it was this like novel idea of like, how can I be the one to take Trump down? That's for like politically, she wanted that reputation.
Yeah. Dana, you and I remember we're Justice Department alums. Yeah, I remember you when you were there and I was there and we were, there after the days of 9/11. And you can use this kind of statute, RICO, to try to go after real organized crime, drug cartels, mafia organizations. DA Fani Willis.
I mean, basically in the 80s, Trump was basically like a mafia boss in the 80s. So, yeah. But in this case, the reason why I guess Georgia they put the RICO charges up for grabs is because it was an organized plot to overthrow the election, I guess. Yeah. The fake elector scheme, I guess that's why they use RICO. Yeah, but okay.
Introduced, I think, a really dangerous theory was that we could use these powerful tools that are used for terrorists and drug cartels and apply them to political campaigns, and not just any political campaign, but the campaign by the leading opposition candidate at that time, Donald Trump, the head of one of the two major parties in the country. I think ultimately the whole thing would have been tossed out because it violated the free speech rights of Donald Trump, the free speech rights of the Republican Party, and actually a lot of Americans who supported him. So I think in the end, this whole thing was going to come crashing down around Fani Willis's and the Democratic Party's ears anyway.
Well, it seemed complicated from the beginning. There is that case here in New York that's still out there, the 34 counts in Judge Merchan's courtroom. He made a ruling about a week ago that the conviction still stands, but the penalty will be judged at a later date. John, do you think that later date ever happens now?
No. Hell no. Yeah, I love to see the motherfucker has immunity and you gonna say, which is not right. Like, everybody should be held accountable. Like, my ass get held accountable. So why should this guy, or anybody, Biden, Trump, whoever the fuck president, why should they do whatever the fuck they want? I can't do whatever the fuck I want. So yeah, but yeah, I love to see that. I love to see they sentence Trump, man. I don't see it, but hey, if they do, shit.
I think this is Judge Merchan really still trying to go after Donald Trump. Think about it. If you look, Bill, you mentioned the presidential immunity case. There's a footnote, a really important footnote in that opinion that says states, even if they're prosecuting a president for private acts, can't use evidence from the presidency. They can't use what Donald Trump said in the Oval Office. They can't use what White House officials said. Nevertheless, Judge Merchan went ahead and held a trial and introduced that kind of evidence. He should, at the very least, order a new trial, if not force the DA to go back to it. But what Merchan is doing which I think is still dangerous, is he's dangling these charges still, the sentencing over the head of Donald Trump and saying, well, I can't sentence you now. Maybe I won't. He still probably, he could try to get him before the inauguration, but he shouldn't. But he's going to say, I'm going to dangle that over your head for the next 4 years, and I'm going to be waiting for you when your presidency is over.
Well, you have to think he's doing the work of Alvin Bragg, right, Dana? At the moment. I mean, he works for the DA, right, John?
I don't know.
I won't say he's doing. I'm sure Bragg loves this idea because Bragg is trying to make his career out of harassing President Trump, and this is a terrible thing for not just Donald Trump, for all Americans because of the presidency. You don't want presidents to have to try to make the toughest decisions on behalf of the country and have to worry what's going to happen to me when I come out of office. This is, two-bit judge, and this DA
you have to be able to have clear
for.
decision making.
And like he said, tough decisions. Trump called on the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, and said, I need find the votes. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but something like that. So, again, I'm gonna end it there, but, was this shit, political influence? Hell yeah. Duh. Like, of course the Democrats, well, until now they're kissing Trump's nutsack, but yeah, they wanted to take Trump down. Like, but yeah, that got averted. It says, gotta have all these pop-ups on these websites, man. Shit. Let me make it bigger again for y'all. I know y'all probably can't see that good. Let me see. It's kind of hard when you're using a cell phone screen. So, let me see. Okay, right there. Georgia Court of Appeals disqualified Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and her team from prosecuting President-elect Donald Trump in his election interference case on Thursday. The court did not toss Trump's indictment entirely, but Willis and the assistant DAs working in her office now have no authority to proceed. Hell, they might as well throw it out. Like, there's nothing, like, Trump is president now. Like, he has immunity. Like, there's nothing they can do. After carefully considering the trial's court findings in its order, we conclude that it erred by failing to disqualify DA Willis and her office. The filing states the remedy crafted by the trial court to prevent an ongoing appearance of impropriety did nothing to address the appearance of impropriety that existed at times when DA Willis was exercising her broad parental discretion about who to prosecute and what charges to bring. It says, hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Oh, shit. It went back up to the top. Hold on. Okay. It said the court said while it recognizes that an appearance of improperty generally is not enough to support disqualification, this is the rare case in which disqualification is mandated.
And here we go. A Georgia court of...
Hold on, guys. There you go. It's not enough to support disqualification. In this case, this is a rare case in which the disqualification is mandated and no other remedy was suffice to restore public confidence in the integrity of these proceedings. It says, accordingly, we reversed the trial court's denial of appellant's motion to disqualify DA Willis in her office. The filing states, as we conclude that the elected district attorney is wholly disqualified from this case, the assistant district attorneys whose power to prosecute a case is derived from the constitutional authority of the district attorney who appointed them and have no authority to proceed, the filing states. So, yeah, I'm going to end it there. So I end it right there because I saw the video that former DA, Attorney General, said the same thing I said. So, yeah, man, like, I mean, I ain't surprised, like, hell. All of these fucking cases against Trump gonna be gone, man. Like it's over, bro. Like, people still like saying that, oh, they gonna get Trump on something. yeah. I love to see that. When the Supreme Court says you have fucking immunity, so yeah. Oh God. So on to the next